Hello, welcome to everyone. Uh, this is lecture number 4 for electricity and magnetism. Already 3 lectures covered. In lecture 1, we discuss about the Dirac delta function, and in lecture 2, we discuss about the Coulomb's law, then electric field, Coulomb's law, electric field, electric potential, force line, equipotential surface, and all about this we discuss in the second class and second lecture. In the third lecture we discuss about the application of the Coulomb's law. That's mean using Coulomb's law we can find out the electric field and the electric potential. So in the third lecture we discuss all about this. Okay, so in this fourth lecture we want to discuss about the Gauss theorem or Gauss law and its application. For your information, you can I can say you that the book written by Bigos, that is Electrostatic and Magnetism, Bigos, and the book written by DJ Griffith, these two books the problem of these two books are discussed, problem solution are discussed in the separate video, separate playlist of my in my YouTube channel. You can go through the description box of this video. You can watch, you can get the link. From the link you can also watch this solution of this problem, right? Problem written in these two books. And if you want to the watch the previous lecture 1 to 3, you can also go to the description box. You will be get the link from where you can also access the previous lecture. In this lecture we want to discuss at first for the, what do you mean by electric flux. Next we want to discuss about the Gauss law. Third, its application. Among the application we actually wants to the case that is a linear line charge density. Next is the cylinder, which is hollow and the solid. There is two case. There is a infinite sheet, thin sheet, and there is a infinite plate, that is thick sheet, and there is a spherical shell, that is no material within this surface, and there is a solid sphere, that means there is a material with inner of this surface. So all these cases, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6, for these 6 cases we want to find out at first for electric field, and then find out the potential from this electric field. You know, from the previous lecture we already discussed how we can find out the potential from electric field as well as the electric field from the potential. That's mean we can find out potential directly, also from the we can find out potential directly, also we can find out from the electric field as well. In case of the electric field we can also find out the potential from the we can find out the electric field from potential also from directly. In our cases actually from the Gauss law we find out the electric field, so obtaining electric field we can find out potential from this electric field. Okay, such that we can use this Gauss theorem to find out the electric field and then find out the potential. I think you clear about the total goal of this video, that is, for all these cases we find out electric field using Gauss law and then find out the potential from the electric field using boundary condition. Clear? So this is the motive of this video. So let's start with the syllabus. This is the syllabus of the Calcutta University for the second semester of physics honors. You can find out this portion already covered, this portion mostly covered, except this will be discussed in later, most probably in the next class. And this portion already covered in next lecture 2, I think lecture 2. And this lecture we want to find actually this portion, that is Gauss theorem, application Gauss theorem, electric field due to point charge, infinite line charge, and uniformly charged spherical shell, solid sphere, plane charge sheet, charge conductor. Okay, so I think I miss out this that is the electric field for the point charge. I want to discuss also about these things. Okay, So today we want to cover up this portion. I think clear about this total scenario of this lecture. So let's look at the total syllabus. This is the total syllabus we will be covered in the next class and so on. So at first we want to discuss about the electric flux. What do you mean by electric flux? Suppose there is a electric field. We can prepare the electric field using the charge separation, you know. So this is the electric field. This is the electric field. Okay, no problem. And if there is any surface in this electric field, suppose there is a surface like that, there is a surface, like that. The electric field cutted this surface. This is a surface. Clear? This is a surface. So you can see here this normal of this surface will be somewhere like in that direction. This is the normal of this surface and this is the electric field. So if you wants to know that is the component of electric field along the surface, the component of electric field along the surface, what will be the value? If this is E and this angle is theta, then the component of E along the S will be E cos theta. And if you wants to know about the flux mean the electric field passing through this surface perpendicularly. So the component is E cos theta and the area is nothing but S. Then you can say the flux is nothing but the flux will be nothing but the E cos theta into S. Or E S cos theta. This is nothing but E dot S. Clear? So flux is nothing but the dot product of electric field and the surface area. So flux is defined as the electric field a product of electric field and product of surface area with the normal component of electric field along with the normal component of electric field which passes through this surface, through this surface, and this is known as the flux. This is known as the electric flux. In case of magnetic, we also find out the magnetic flux. This is the electric flux, right? So you clear about the electric flux. This is nothing but the area into electric field which passing perpendicular to this area, right? And this is the E dot S. If you consider there is a small area and small area ds, then you can write down the total flux will be E dot ds. If the area will be closed, then you can write this is a closed integration. This is for closed integration and this is on the surface. This is for closed integration, closed surface integration, right? So if you know the area vector, suppose this is a for example I can say you, for example I can say you there is an electric field suppose 2 I cap okay 2 I cap plus 3 j cap minus 6 k cap, and the area will be like that, that is on the xy plane with side A, and this is A, so this will be A square, and since this is x and this is y axis, the perpendicular is, so z axis, that is k cap, so the flux is nothing but E dot S, so this is can be written as, that is 2 I cap plus 3 j cap minus 6 k cap dot S square k cap, so finally we got minus 6 S square. This is the flux. I think clear about this, and you think you know about this closed. This is the closed surface integration. So if you understand these things, we can say about the Gauss theorem. Gauss theorem says for any closed surface, this is a any closed surface, for any closed surface, total electric flux through this surface, total electric flux, that is total electric flux to this surface, that is circular integration of this, since this is a closed surface, and this surface also known as Gaussian surface. This can be real surface or imaginary surface, doesn't matter, but for for any closed surface, this will be the q enclosed by epsilon naught in the air. Q enclosed by epsilon naught, this is for air, right? I think I want to say that the surface also known as the Gaussian surface, Gaussian Gaussian surface or Gaussian surface. Okay, this surface also known as the Gaussian surface. So this statement says that the total flux through any closed surface will be the charge enclosed. This Q enclosed is the within this surface by epsilon naught. So total flux through this through the any closed surface, total flux through the any closed surface is equal total electric flux, total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to the 1 by epsilon times is charge enclosed by this surface, I think clear about the Gauss theorem, which says that total electric flux is nothing but the q epsilon naught, q enclosed by epsilon naught, that means the charge within the within this surface will be enclosed, and this surface can be real or imaginary. This can be real surface or can be imaginary surface, okay. So this is the Gauss theorem. Using this Gauss theorem, we can find out electric field very easily. Using this Gauss surface, we can find out electric field very easily. How? I want to give you some example. For example, there is a cube. Within this cube, there is a charge, small q, capital Q, whatever, small q. Then what will be the flux total? This is number one. Total flux through the cube. Since this is a closed surface, so we can apply the total flux is nothing but the q enclosed by epsilon naught. Now if you want to find out the flux through any surface, for any surface, flux through any one surface, flux through any one surface. Since this is a symmetry, then flux for any one surface is the symmetrical, right? So you can say this flux will be 1 by 6 6 surface q by epsilon naught. Clear about this? I want to share another important thing, important question in case of this cube, that is, if a charge at any corner of this cube, then what to do? Any corner of this charge, the charge will be any corner of this cube. Suppose in this corner there is a q, then what will be the total flux? Total flux. What will be the total flux? Okay, just think about these surface which are connected with this surface, that is upper surface, in the front surface, and this surface, these three surfaces are connected with this charge. So the electric field on the surface and the surface direction is, they are the perpendicular, so the flux are in the surface will be zero. Flux through three surface, which connected to the cube, which are connected to the cube is zero, because the electric field and the surface are perpendicular to each other, and the rest three surface have the flux. Rest three surface have the flux. Okay, this is clear. Now what will be the flux from the rest three surface? For that we can draw the imaginary cube, because we know for using the Gauss theorem we need to center, that is the charge will be at the center. So this is not in center, so we can take a cube in here with the same direction. From here we can take another, and can take another cube. So this is the 3q we taken, and also we take the 4q in the upper side, such that this will be at the center. Clear? I think clear about the diagram. So now it is at center. So at that surface we can find out the electric field. So this is from this surface, the electric field is 1 by 6 into q by epsilon naught. This big surface within that, which are given q, is that this is 1/4, and there is 3 surface like that. So this is, you find 1/8 q by epsilon naught, right? So I think you can imagine this figure. This can be also remember like that, these charge are shared by 8q, right? This charge is shared by 8q. 1 2 1 2 3 4 and 4, like that. So this charge is shared by 8q, so total flux, will be the total flux. Total flux will be the 1/8 of the q by epsilon naught. Clear? I think clear. Now I want to uh, discuss in the others position, like that. Suppose the figure is like that, number 3. If the charge on the surface of any cube, any side, the charge on the surface, like here. Suppose the charge is like here, then total flux will be, since the charge is shared by two, since the charge is shared by 2q, so the electric flux will be 1 by 2 q by epsilon naught. You can also find out by taking the imaginary cube to make the center, or you can also remember this thing. Number 4, if this charge in the line of this cube, if this charge is the line of the cube, is the line of the cube here, then you can think this is shared by uh, 1 2 3 4 4. So total flux is 1/4 q by epsilon naught. This will be the 1/4 q by epsilon naught. And next, if this as I think cover up all the figure at this corner, at the center corner face and this, so I think cover up all this. So by this method, by using the Gauss theorem, we can find easily the flux. Otherwise we need to this dot product E dot ds and integration if you want to find the total. So this is the method to find out the flux. Otherwise we can use the Gauss theorem in case of the symmetry. For that we need to take a Gaussian surface, right? Now we want to discuss about the differential from the Gauss theorem. So we obtain the Gauss theorem. Gauss theorem says, Gauss theorem which says the cyclic integration, this is called cyclic integration or closed integration, E dot ds equals to q enclosed by epsilon naught. From this Gauss theorem, you know, that is the from the vector. I have a playlist for the vector analysis. You can also watch this playlist. You can also watch this playlist for idea of the vector. So you know this thing, that is the closed integration a dot ds is nothing but surface integration. This is divergence of a, volume integration, Gauss divergence theorem. Gauss divergence theorem in vector analysis, you know, Gauss divergence theorem. This is Gauss divergence theorem. So using this thing, we can write E dot dv divergence E dv. This is volume integration. This is surface integration. Q enclosed by epsilon naught, or this Q enclosed divergence E dv. This Q enclosed can be written as rho dv. Volume charge density. Rho is nothing but volume charge density. Volume charge density. Clear? So just compare in the compare in both side. If you compare in the both side, you can write that divergence E is nothing but rho by epsilon naught. Rho by epsilon naught. Clear? This is the differential form of this Gauss theorem. This is the differential form of this Gauss theorem. This is the differential form of this Gauss theorem. Clear? This is the differential form of Gauss theorem. Sorry. Okay. This is the differential form of Gauss theorem. Now you know the electric field related to the potential like that, E equals to divergence V, sorry, grad V, E equals to minus grad V. V is the potential, E is the electric field, the E is the electric field, this is electric field, and V is the potential. E is the electric field and V is the potential. Clear? So you can write down here electric field in terms of potential. You can write down here the electric field in terms of potential, that is divergence of minus grad V equal to rho by epsilon naught. So this is nothing but grad square V equal to minus rho by epsilon naught. and this is nothing but the Poisson's equations. Poisson's, this is nothing but the Poisson's equation. Clear? This is Poisson's equation. Now if charge density is 0 anywhere, if we consider anywhere where the charge density is 0, then you can write grad square V equals to 0. Then you can write grad square V equals to 0, and this is nothing but the Laplace equation. Laplace equation. Clear about the differential form of Gauss theorem, then Poisson's equation, and then Laplace equation, right? Now come into the point, that is the application of Gauss theorem. For the infinite line charge density, you know, we already find out the electric field and potential for the infinite line charge density using Coulomb's law. Now we want to find out the same electric field and potential using Gauss theorem, and this will be find out very easily. How? If this is a infinite line charge whose we want to find out the electric field at distance r, right? So for that, you know, for using Gauss theorem, you need to a Gaussian surface. That will be real or imaginary. We can take a in a imaginary surface. This is an imaginary surface where within the surface this point must be lie. Where taken the surface as a, this point will be lie. This is the Gaussian surface. This will be the Gaussian surface. Gaussian. This is nothing but the Gaussian surface. Clear? Now you can take, that is the lambda is the line charge density. This is the charged rod charged rod charge rod. Okay, so for the line lambda is the line charge density, taken lambda is the line charge density. Now by Gauss theorem we can write, that is the cyclic integration E dot ds. Cyclic integration E dot ds equal to q enclosed by epsilon naught. Cyclic integration E dot ds equals to q enclosed by epsilon naught. Then here you can see there are two types surface. One is curved surface and there is two plane surface, that one and that one. Okay, so we can write this is in this form, that is curve and this is plane. Clear? We can write, because we need to integrate whole closed surface integration, we can separate out into curved part and the plane part. For the curved surface you can see the electric field direction and the surface direction both in the same direction. That means the angle between the electric field and the surface is the 0. But in case of the plane surface, electric field is along that direction, but the surface in the perpendicular direction. So in case of the curved surface you can write, in in case of the curved surface you can write, this is E ds cos 0, curved surface, for curved surface. And in case of the plane surface, you can write u E ds cos 90 degree, because there is 90. In case here also you can see this is a area ds direction and this is the electric field direction, right? This is the electric field direction. So for both cases these are the 90 degree, so this will be q enclosed by epsilon naught. So cos 0 is 1, cos 90 0, so this becomes 0, this becomes 0. So you will be got E integration E ds, and this is q enclosed by epsilon naught. So at the distance r, the electric field will be same, because the electric field actually depend on this distance. Since the distance is same, the electric field will be the same. And the area of the curved surface you can say this is 2 pi r, and if you take this length as L of this cylinder, so this will be 2 pi r L. And what will be the charge enclosed? This will be the lambda and 2 L lambda charge per length, unit length. So finally we got E equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. If you take 4 pi epsilon naught, so you must multiply 2 lambda by r. Clear? 2 lambda 2 lambda by r, LL cancel out. And this direction along the r cap. So if you wants to write in the vector form, we can write this in the vector form, and you can check this electric field is nothing but the same as we obtained in the case of the uh, using the Coulomb's law. Using the Coulomb's law, we get the same electric field as now we obtain using the Gauss theorem. Clear? Now you can find out the potential from this electric field very easily. Okay, so this is electric field, and the potential, how we can find out the potential? Okay, just write down the potential. Potential is nothing but the integration E dr. So this is nothing but integration 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 lambda by r dr. So this is nothing but minus 2 lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught ln r with some constant. This is the potential. Clear? And I think you remember the graph of this electric field and potential 1 by r graph. So electric field will be like that, and this is the curve with r versus electric field, and the curve for the potential, this was the like that. Okay, like that, this was the one. Go to the next discussion problem, that is the uniformly charged hollow cylinder. That means there is a hollow cylinder and the charged within this surface. So sigma can be taken as the surface charge density. Surface charge density. Okay. So here the case, first case, we can consider the inside point. Inside. If we take inside, so we can draw the Gaussian surface. That means we can take this radius of the cylinder is capital R, and we want to find out the electric field at distance small r. This is the interside. So for that we can take a cylinder, within this. So this is the Gaussian surface. This is Gaussian surface. So by Gauss theorem, you can say this cyclic integration E dot ds is nothing but q enclosed by epsilon naught. So the E and the area or total area is nothing but 2 pi r, and this is L. If you take this is L, so 2 pi RL, and you know for that region will be 0, but you can take here the area, that is 2a, no problem if this area, or 2 pi r square, but the charge enclosed within this is 0, because the charge on the on the on the outer surface, right, the outer surface. So this is 0. So finally E in inside electric field is nothing but this is 0. In case of the outside, so the electric field will be 0, so the potential V in is nothing but E integration dr. So integration of 0 is constant, so V in will be some constant. Next, for outside, you can say take this is a cylinder whose radius was capital R, right, and we take a outside point, that means take a point here where R, so R is greater than R, and here R is less than R, capital R. So for that we can take the in the similar fashion, we can take a similar fashion a cylinder like that, whose radius is capital R and its length is L. This length is L. Clear? So by Gauss theorem, E dot ds is equals to Q enclosed by epsilon naught. So you can see this is E into 2 pi R, 2 pi RL, and for that region the electric field here and the surface is here perpendicular, for that this will be 0, and the charge enclosed within this is nothing but 2 pi RL into sigma. 2 pi RL, this is the R, so 2 pi RL by sigma is the charge. So finally you got 2 pi cancel out, sigma by epsilon naught, R by R. Clear? 2 pi cancel out, L cancel out, so pi R. So this is the electric field, and if you wants to write in the vector form, you can write in the vector form, and this is outside electric field. And that's it for potential. For potential, minus E dot dr, so this is nothing but sigma R by epsilon naught integration dr by r, that is nothing but sigma R by epsilon naught ln r plus C2. I think this was written in C1. So this is C1 and V out is like that. Okay. Now if you wants to find out the constant, you need to know about the boundary condition where the potential is 0, then you can find out E2 and at the surface. So C2 can be find out, number 1, using boundary condition. We can take this as a 0. So V out is nothing but minus sigma R by epsilon naught ln R. Okay, we can, from using find out, we get the C2 value, no problem. And C1 can be find out using condition that V in equals to V out at R equals to capital R. At R equals to capital R, these two equal. From this condition we can find out this C1. So by using this, C1 and C2 can be obtained. C1 and C2 can be obtained. Okay, I think clear about this. Now you want to draw the curve for this electric field with respect to this R, with respect to this R, if you wants to find out it. So E in was 0 and E out was sigma R by epsilon naught R, sigma R by epsilon naught R. So up to R, capital R, that's mean inside up to capital R, this will be 0, this will be 0. After that the R will be at the surface, E surface, you can find out R equals to R, this is sigma by epsilon naught. So at R equals to R, this is sigma by epsilon naught, then it will be reduces, like that. So R equals to R, this is a dot line, this reduces with increasing R. Clear? This is the curve for the electric field. And in case of this potential, up to inside this will be constant, and with increasing R, this ln will be increases. So like this is potential and this is radius. So up to R this will be like that, and its fall with negative ln. So this fall like that will be like that. This is the potential. This is C1 up to capital R. Clear? I think clear. This was the hollow cylinder. For hollow cylinder we can find out electric field and potential. Next one is the solid cylinder. So in case of the solid cylinder, if you take this is a solid cylinder, so you can take the volume charge density. So rho is the volume charge density, volume charge density, rho is the volume charge density. If you wants to find out in case of inside means R is less than capital R, since this is a capital R. And if you wants to find out the electric field at a distance small r, which is less than capital R, this is a small r. So for that you can take a cylinder like that with the length L. Clear? So by Gauss theorem, E dot ds is equals to q enclosed by epsilon naught. The previous case q enclosed was 0, but here not 0 because there is a volume charge density, there will be charge, right? So this is nothing but 2 pi r L. In that case this will be 0, and q enclosed, what will be the volume? Volume is pi r square L. This is the volume into charge density. Volume into charge density is total charge by epsilon naught. So E in is nothing but pi cancel out, R cancel out, L cancel out. So only one R is remaining, rho R by 2 epsilon naught, rho R by 2 epsilon naught. And if you want to in vector form, there is a R cap. Clear? So what will be the following potential? Potential is minus E dot dr. So this is nothing but minus rho R by 2 epsilon naught, rho R by 2 epsilon naught dr. So this is rho R square by 2, that is 4 epsilon naught R square plus C1. Okay. In the same fashion we can find out C1 after getting this condition, boundary condition, and the condition that at the surface V in and V out will be the same. Clear? Also you can write down the value that E surface, that is R equals to R, that is R equals to R. The E surface can be written as, that is rho capital R by 2 epsilon naught R cap in the vector form. Okay. So this is for inside. In case of the outside, if you take about the outside point, if take the outside point, this is the cylinder, volume charge density is rho, whose radius is capital R. We wants to find out electric field outside this cylinder. Then what will be the curve? So we take a cylinder with radius capital R, and the length will be L. So by Gauss theorem, that is the E dot ds equals to q enclosed by epsilon naught, right? So this is nothing but E into 2 pi r into L, this is L, and q enclosed is nothing but pi capital R square, pi capital R square pi capital R square L into rho by epsilon naught. So you can see here that is pi r L are cancel out, so there is 2 epsilon naught r rho r by rho r square by r, and in vector form this is the r cap. Okay, this was outside electric field, E out. So the corresponding potential will be minus E dot dr, E dot dr. So this can be written as, that is rho r square by 2 epsilon naught dr by r. This is nothing but the minus rho r square 2 epsilon naught ln r plus C2. This is V out. Clear? So this was V in, and this is V out. So if you take at some A, if you wants to find out for first condition, that is at condition, boundary condition, that at r equals to A somewhere V is 0. So what will be the happen? 0 equals to minus rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln a plus c2. So from here we will be get c2 equals to minus c2 equal to plus rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln a. So if you put the value in v out, you will be get the output voltage, that is minus rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln r plus c2. c2 is nothing but rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln a. So in combined we can write rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln a by r. This is the output voltage. Clear? Using the condition, that is at r equals to capital R, the V in is equals to V out. So V in is nothing but that is the V in minus rho r square by 4 epsilon naught, minus rho r square by 4 epsilon naught, rho r square by 4 epsilon naught plus C1 equals to V out rho r square. So small r equals to capital R, rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln a by r. So from here you will be got the value C1 equals to rho r square by 4 epsilon naught as a common. So you will be get 2 ln a by r plus 1. So finally we got V in is nothing but C1 plus this. So rho r square by 4 epsilon naught. V in is this plus C1. So I think this r equals to r, capital R. Okay, that's it. So this will be common and will be to ln a by capital R, plus 1, and this will be the minus 1. These are cancel out. Rho r square by 4 epsilon naught ln a by capital R. So this is the V in. So we can write V in is rho r square by 4 epsilon naught ln a by r, and this is nothing but the V surface also, and V out is nothing but rho r square by 2 epsilon naught 2 epsilon naught 2 epsilon naught ln a by r. Okay, uh, 2 this 2 cancel out, this will be 2. No, not 4, 2 2, that's it. Okay, so we can draw the curve for this potential R and V. You can see this curve will be, this is the constant up to surface. So up to surface this will be the constant, with increasing R this will be reduces, will be like that. So up to R this is constant potential. For potential this is constant. In case of the previous, you think the potential will be the constant. Here also the potential will be the constant. Electric field is on where, if we integrate ln, no, v in, there is this term, I think I remember, I missing this term, sorry, this is, this was a missing, there is an r square and this was the small r square, sorry, this is r square by r square minus r square by capital R square. Clear? This was minus capital R square by cos square. So uh, for in this was 4 2 ln a by r capital R plus 1 minus r square by capital R square. This was the inside. So this is r equal, when r equals to 0, this become like that. Actually this curve will be like that. This curve will be like that. From here you can see this is like that. This is surface. For surface, V surface is nothing but the rho r square, uh, V out, this was smaller, V out, this was smaller. This is capital rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln A by R, ln A by R. So at the surface, the rho r square by 2 epsilon naught ln A by R, and inside variation like that, and outside. So this is in, this is out. Clear? And in case of the electric field, you can see the E in was electric field in was, sorry, this was solid, in was rho r by 2 epsilon naught, rho r by 2 epsilon naught, rho r by 2 epsilon naught r cap, and E out will be, E out will be, E out will be rho r square by 2 epsilon naught r, rho r square by 2 epsilon naught r, rho r square by 2 epsilon naught r. I think rho r square by 2 epsilon naught r. Clear? So E surface equals to rho r by 2 epsilon naught. This is r cap. This is r cap. Clear? So if we wants to draw the curve, that is r and that is E. So at r equals to 0, the electric field will be 0. So r equals to 0, electric field will be 0. With increasing r, the electric field will be linearly increases. Up to capital surface, this will be the rho r by 2 epsilon naught. This will be the rho r by 2 epsilon naught at r equals to r. Then if we increases r, this will be fall down with the 1 by r. So this is linearly r, and this is 1 by r. This is inside, this is outside. Clear? This is the curve for electric, this is the curve for potential. This is the curve for electric, and this is the curve for potential. Clear? So this is all about the electric field and potential of the uniformly charged solid cylinder. Uniformly charged solid cylinder. Now comes into the another problem, that is the infinite seat, charge infinite seat. This is a charged infinite seat. This is a charged infinite seat. Clear? So for this charge infinite seat, the charge density is sigma, surface charge density, surface charge density, surface charge density. Okay. So you can we wants to find out the electric field at a distance r from this. So for that we can draw the Gaussian surface like this cylinder. This is the Gaussian surface. This is the Gaussian surface. This is the Gaussian surface. This is the Gaussian surface, right? So for this Gaussian surface, if you find that that at that region the electric field and the surface is the same direction, but in case of this curved surface, the electric field along that direction, but the surface in the perpendicular direction, right? So using Gauss theorem, that is E dot ds, E dot ds equals to q enclosed by epsilon naught. Sorry. So this can be break into two part, that is the curved surface E dot ds, and plane surface E dot ds equals to q enclosed by epsilon naught. Now the curved surface, you can see for curved surface they are perpendicular. So the curved surface E ds cos 90, whereas for plane surface these are linear. For plane surface these are linear, that is E ds cos 0, which is q enclosed by epsilon naught. For curved surface this 90 degrees, so this will be 0, and this is nothing but the area. What will be the area? There is two plane area, so this is 2a, where we take this area is a, this area is a, whereas the charge enclosed will be sigma a, charge density sigma and area is a. So finally we got the electric field is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. If you take this as a distance r, or you can take, okay, you can take x direction, x cap, no problem, r cap, distance as a r, so you can take this as a, you can take x direction, so this as a x cap, this is a electric field. Okay, so the corresponding potential is nothing but minus E dot dr, here the dx is the same thing. If you take this as a x direction, so this is nothing but sigma x by 2 epsilon naught v as a function of x with some constant. If you take this constant like that, okay, so this electric field is nothing but the constant. So if you wants to draw the electric field with respect to x, and this is electric field, so positive x axis this is positive, and for negative x axis this will be the negative. So the curve will be like that, sigma by 2 epsilon naught, sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and the potential will be linearly increases with some constant value like that. Okay, now comes into the uniformly charged infinite plate. Okay, for infinite plate, for plate means there is a thickness, thick sheet, this is a nothing but the thick sheet. If we consider this is a thick sheet, for thick sheet in the similar fashion we wants to find out electric field at distance r. So you need to take a cylinder like that sorry, you need to take the like that, and this is r. So the similar fashion, if you find out the E dot ds equals to q enclosed, sorry, q enclosed by epsilon naught. So for the curved surface at the 0 only plane surface is happening, and this is sigma into 2a, and there is the difference, there will be the two charged plane, this is the front side and there is a back side, so this charged area is the 2a. So you will be finally obtain this is sigma by epsilon naught. This is the difference. In the previous case, this was the sigma by 2 epsilon naught due to single charge sheet, but here there is two surface. Since this is thick, so there is two surface of the charge area. So that's why total charged area is the sigma into 2a. Clear? So this is the electric field, and the corresponding potential is nothing but minus sigma x by epsilon naught plus c. Okay, so if you wants to draw the electric field versus distance x versus electric field in the similar things as before with the change in magnitude, this will be the sigma by epsilon naught, this will be this minus sigma by epsilon naught. Clear? I think clear about this. Okay, so next we wants to discuss about the uniformly charged spherical cell. Uniformly charged spherical cell, cell means there is a empty in the inner side. So this is a uniformly charged spherical cell, so the surface charge density is sigma, surface charge density. In case of conductor in the same thing, because in case of conductor charge will distributed on the surface, so surface charge density, surface charge density. So in case of conductor it will be the same thing, conductor also same thing. Clear? Solid conductor. Cell is the same thing, solid conductor also behaves like that, also same behavior, also same behavior. Clear? In case of the inner inside, if you take inside, then at a certain distance smaller. So if you take this as a Gaussian surface, Gaussian surface, this is the Gaussian surface. So in case of inside, that is r less than capital R, you can say that is E dot ds is nothing but q enclosed by epsilon naught. So this is E into 4 pi r square, surface area of this sphere, and q enclosed within this surface is 0 because the surface is on the charge is on this surface capital R. So this is 0. So finally you got E in equals to 0. So E in equals to 0. Since E in equals to 0, V in equals to constant. Say V in equals to constant. Okay. So in case of outside, outside, that means there is a surface charge density capital R, and if you take small r, which is small r is greater than capital R, previous was small r is less than capital R. So if you draw this Gaussian surface, this is a Gaussian surface, Gaussian surface, this is a Gaussian surface. So you can write down as the Gauss theorem E dot ds equals to q enclosed by epsilon naught, and this is nothing but E into 4 pi r square, area of this surface, and q enclosed is nothing but 4 pi capital R square into sigma by epsilon naught. So what will be the 4 pi 4 can cancel out, sigma by epsilon naught r square by small r square. If you take the vector form, and this is out, if you take the vector form, you will get this expression. Clear? Okay. So outside electric field is this. So the potential is E dot dr minus E dot dr. So you will be get sigma by epsilon naught, sigma r square by epsilon naught will be constant, dr by r square. So this is minus 1 by 4. So sigma r square by epsilon naught r plus constant C2. This constant can be find out if you take r tends to infinity, V out will be 0. This is a visible boundary condition, not problem. So 1 by infinity 0 0, so you will be get C2 equals to 0. So V out is nothing but sigma r square by epsilon naught r small r, sigma r square by epsilon naught small r. You can also represent in terms of q if you wants to find this, that is sigma by q by 4 pi r square. If you want, you can also represent in terms of total charge. Q is the total charge, okay, but I want to draw in terms of sigma, no problem. So the at the surface, at surface the V in is equals to V out. So V in was C1 and V out will be the sigma r square by r square. So sigma capital R square by epsilon naught r. So this is sigma r by epsilon naught. This is the V1. So finally we can write V in is equals to sigma r by epsilon naught. V surface is the same with this value, and V out is nothing but sigma r square, square by epsilon naught r, sigma r square by epsilon naught r. So if you want to draw the curve of this V versus R versus V, same thing. Sorry. For inside this will be the constant up to, for inside this will be the constant up to surface, this is the constant value capital R. with increasing the r outside, this will be reduces. So like that, this is inside, this is outside, and this value will be sigma r by epsilon naught. I think clear about this expression, sigma r by epsilon naught. This is in case of the, this is in case of the uniformly pair, uniformly charged pair. Clear? Charged cell actually. And the electric field E in was 0, E surface. If you put this value E out at r equals to r, you will be get sigma by epsilon naught. Sigma by epsilon naught r cap, and E out is nothing but sigma r square by epsilon naught r square. Sigma r square by epsilon naught small r square r cap. So if you draw the curve for this electric field with respect to r, this electric field with respect to r, so up to capital R, this will be the 0. Up to capital R, this is 0, and at surface this will sigma epsilon naught, and then increasing r, this will be reduces. So at surface, this is a value sigma by epsilon naught, and then it reduces 1 by r square. So this is outside, this is inside. Clear? This is outside and this is inside. About the, about this one. So this is outside, this is inside. That's it. Okay, clear. So this is for uniformly charged spherical cell. Cell means charge placed on the, actually on the surface. In case of solid conductor, same thing, because for the solid conductor, charge also distributed on the surface. Now comes into the solid sphere, where the charge distributed in the material, within the material actually. So there will be volume charge density. This will be the volume charge density. Volume charge density. There will be volume charge density. So for that, in case of inside, that's mean r less than r, that is, it is capital R, and if you take this as a small r here, somewhere here, so you take this as a Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface, this is a Gaussian surface, right? So by this Gauss theorem, you can write, that is surface integration E dot ds is nothing but q enclosed by epsilon naught. So this is E into 4 pi r square, and this is nothing but volume is 4/3 pi r cube, that is rho into 4/3 pi small r cube into density by epsilon naught. So you can see here, that is 4 pi cancel out, r square cancel out, only r remaining. So this is rho r by 3 epsilon naught. This is E in vector form, there is a r cap. Clear? This is inside electric field which varies with r, and the corresponding inside potential will be minus E dot r, E dot r, E dot dr. So this is rho by 3 epsilon naught r dr. This is nothing but r square by 2 minus 3 by 6 epsilon naught r square with some constant c1. This is v in. Now in case of outside, in case of the outside, for outside, that is, this is was capital R, this was capital R, and if you consider this small r is outside here, so outside here, so you can write, that is, for this E dot ds equal to q enclosed by epsilon naught. So this is nothing but E into 4 pi r square, and this will be the 4/3 pi rq into 4/3 pi rq into rho. Rho is the charge density by epsilon naught. So you will be get E equals to 4 pi cancel out. You will be get that is rho r cube 3 epsilon naught r square, right? And there is a r cap in vector form, and this is the E out. Clear? This is the outside electric field, and the corresponding potential, outside potential minus E dot dr. So this is nothing but rho r cube by 3 epsilon naught dr by r square. This is nothing but minus 1 by r. So these will be 3 epsilon naught r plus C2. This is V out. Now you can take the condition at r tends to infinity, V tends to V out tends to 0. So if you put this is 0, 1 by infinity 0, so C2 equals to 0. So you will be get finally V out equals to rho r cube by 3 epsilon naught small r. This is the output potential, and at the surface at r equals to capital R, that is surface, the V in equals to V out. V in was minus rho r square by 6 epsilon naught plus C1 minus rho minus rho r square by 6 epsilon naught, rho r square by, I think there is any error, rho r square r, rho r square by 6 epsilon, right, no problem, 6 epsilon naught plus C1, and out is that r equals to capital R, because at r equals to r, and this is rho r cube by 3 epsilon naught r, rho r cube by 3 epsilon naught r. So the C1 is nothing but rho r square by 3 epsilon naught plus rho r square by 6 epsilon naught. So if you take rho r square by 3 epsilon naught, so this is 1 plus half, this is 3 by 2, so this will be 3 r square by 2 epsilon naught. So the V in is nothing but the minus rho r square by 6 epsilon naught minus rho r square by 6 epsilon naught plus C1 is rho r square by 2 epsilon naught. This is the V in. So this can be written in this form, that is rho by 6 epsilon naught, rho r square by 6 epsilon naught, so there is 3 minus r square by capital R square. This is the V in. This is the V in. Okay, the input voltage will be like that. Clear? I think clear about the input voltage, output voltage also. So finally we can write V in equals to rho r square by rho r square by 6 epsilon naught 3 minus r square by r square, that is r less than capital R. V surface, if you put r equals to capital R, this is 1, so this is 2, this will be 3 r square by this is 1, so 3 epsilon naught r equals to capital R, and outside this is nothing but the 3 r cube 3 epsilon rho r cube 3 epsilon naught r, rho r cube 3 epsilon naught small r, this is r greater than r. So finally you can draw this curve for this potential. like that. This is small r and this is v. So at r equals to 0 there is some value. So at r equals to 0 v center is some value, that is rho r square, and this 3 will be 2 epsilon naught, rho r square by 2 epsilon naught. So somewhere here rho r square by 2 epsilon naught. Now if we increase r, this will be reduces like that. If we increase r, this will be reduces like that up to r equals to r, that is surface. After that, at the surface you can find out this value will be rho r square by 3 epsilon naught. Now if you increase r again, will be reduces and this formation like that. So this is minus r square term and this is 1 by r term. This is inside and this is outside for the potential, and this is surface. This is the surface. This is the surface. Clear about the potential and the corresponding electric field. If you write down the electric field, you can write that is E in was rho r by 3 epsilon naught. E in was rho r by 3 epsilon naught. E in was rho r by 3 epsilon naught r cap, where r is less than capital R. E surface, if you put E equals to r, that is rho capital R by 3 epsilon naught r cap, r equals to capital R. And E out, this is nothing but E out is nothing but that is rho r cube by 3 epsilon naught r square, rho r cube by 3 epsilon naught r square, rho r cube by 3 epsilon naught r square r cap, that is r greater than capital R. Clear? Now if we wants to draw the curve, that is at center, at the center we can write that is E center. If you put r equals to 0, the center electric field will be 0. So it will be start here 0 and this will be increases linearly. So electric field linearly increases with r up to surface, and this surface value is rho r by 3 epsilon naught, rho r by 3 epsilon naught, and then increases r, this will be reduces with the 1 by r square form. So this is the curve for electric field in case of the solid sphere. Okay. For conductor, this will be behaves like a cell, but in case of solid cell. So in summarize, we can look at this point. That is, we actually discuss about the infinite parts. Infinite at first. We discuss about infinite line charge density, which already discussed in case of the Coulomb's law in the previous lecture, and this curve will be like that. And for uniformly charged hollow sphere, for electric field inside 0, outside something varies 1 by r, and the potential varies ln r, right? And their corresponding curve will be like that. And for uniformly solid cylinder, this was the hollow cylinder, this is the solid cylinder, this curve will be like that. Electric field varies linearly and then decay 1 by r, and this will be inside and this will be the outside. And in case of the uniformly charged sheet, the electric field will be constant, and for plane sheet this is also electric field will be constant. That means the electric field does not depend how far you are from this sheet. That means electric field is independent on this r, right? And the for this spherical cell, the electric field inside will be 0 and outside follows 1 by r square, and the potential inside is constant, outside follow 1 by r. And in case of the solid sphere, the electric field will be inside linearly increases and outside 1 by r square fall, and the potential will be, this will be reduces here and then reduces for this is for minus r square and this is for 1 by r square. I think clear. If there is any doubt, you must contact with me, or you can comment in the comment box. Okay, and you can also watch the others lecture, go to this my channel and go to this playlist. You can get separate playlist for separate classes or subject mean topic, etc. Okay, so you can go through this YouTube channel. This is all about me, and this is my contact details. You can contact with me this Telegram channel or my Facebook, and this is my YouTube channel. Go to this channel, you get different video. If you want, you can watch. Like this session and share this video to your friends so that he or she also get benefit from this video. Subscribe this channel if you new in this channel, and those already subscribed, thanks for subscription. Press the bell icon to get the notification of upcoming video. So take care, we will meet in the next video as soon as possible. Thank you.